Welcome to the Long Run with Joel and Chrissy. I'm Joel, flying solo today, and today is my fitness update on the races I have coming up, some of the training that I'm doing, and just kind of how I'm feeling going into this last part of this training cycle for the Dopey challenge that's coming up. I'm also going to give you an update on the 5K I did back on Thanksgiving Day, the Turkey Trot, where I was trying for a personal record of anything under 20 minutes and 56 seconds. So we'll be doing that as well. So thank you for joining me today. I love bringing these updates to you because you guys inspire me to keep going, to keep pushing for those dreams and those goals, and just to share with you some goals we have coming up after Boston in April. Just have some goals for you. See, it's still surreal to even say that after I run the Boston Marathon in April. Just tell you some goals we've got coming up, and maybe you guys can help us as we look toward those goals towards the end of 2023. So starting off, I want to just update you on the Turkey Trot I did up in Oviedo on Thanksgiving morning. It's the third year I've done that. And I've done a Turkey Trot pretty much every year for the last, I don't know, umpteen years, 6-7 years probably. Going back to Houston, I did some in when we lived in Tennessee as well, but I think I skipped a couple years in between Tennessee and Houston. But anyway, I did do the Oviedo Turkey Trot again this year, and I was going for a goal of anything under 20 minutes and 56 seconds, which would be a personal record for me. And what happened was I lost track of when Thanksgiving was. Now, I know it's always the fourth Thursday of November. However, when I was in my training for Dopey, I forgot to realize that when I started doing my fartleks I know that's a funny word, fartleks for the 5K, which is just speed work. It's during a run, I would just run faster at the 5K speed, and then I'd slow down. I'd run at 5K speed and then slow down. But anyway, I didn't realize I only had a week and a half to train for it, to get that speed work in. And so I was really nervous about whether or not I was going to get it or not, or even come close, because I've tried some 5K speed trials just on my own before I started the training. And I was not happy with it. So because I haven't trained speed work for a 5K since probably last year, early summer and early fall of last year, leading up to last year's Oviedo Turkey Trot. And so I was really unsure of how that was going to turn out, how it was going to work, if I was even going to, break 21 minutes, just even if I was going to make 24 minutes. I wasn't even sure what I was going to do. And so I did a couple of fartleks and some speed work going into it. Not a lot, just a little bit. And so I got there the morning of, so, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to get with a pack and just go for it. Or just, if there's no one around me, I'm just going to run by myself. And so, if I have to slow down towards the end, I'll do that. But I'm going to give it everything I've got and just and see what we can do. And so I did that, and I started out at a pretty good pace. I was at 7 minutes per mile, which won't get me in at my PR. So I knew I was going to have to speed up some, and so I did. For the next, for the first mile, I ran I think right at 6:43. I need a 6:44 to break 20 minutes 56 seconds, and so I'm going along pretty good there. I'm really kind of happy with where I'm at the first mile. I'm not really feeling very winded, and I'm feeling pretty good. I get into mile 2, and I'm starting to feel it. And I did this on one of my training runs. I was doing a 5K run. I was trying to do the whole thing at pace, and I got to mile 2.5, and I really felt like I was going to throw up. And so I slowed down there in that training run. And so I didn't feel that bad, but I did, I was kind of getting in my head a little bit and kind of thinking, you're on this pace, your watch is saying you're on a 6:50 pace now. So you're probably not going to make it. So you might as well just slow up and not really kill yourself to get there, because you're probably not going to make it anyway. And so unconsciously, I felt like I did slow up a little bit. But then when I got to about mile 2.5, and I'm thinking, you know what, I think I'm still within, I still think I'm within catching distance of this. And so I speeded up again. I'm running at 6:30 and really feeling good. I hear this guy behind me. He's running behind me, and I feel like he's drafting off of me, which I've done before to runners. I've drafted off of them before and passed them at the end. It's a really fun thing to do. And so I'm hearing this guy over my right shoulder, and he's just going at it. He's breathing really hard, and I'm thinking he's going to drop off at some point. And we get to mile 2.5, and he's still there. And then we get almost to 3 miles, and I don't hear him as much. So I felt like he kind of dropped off a little bit right before maybe 2 3/4 miles. But then I looked over my left shoulder, and he's back here. And I don't know why I couldn't hear him, but he's still back there a little ways and starting to catch up on me. I'm thinking, I'm not letting this guy pass me. There's no way I'm letting this guy pass me at 3 miles. No way. And so I speed up as I'm coming into the 3 mile mark. I know I've got 1/10 of a mile to go, and so I speed up a little bit. Actually, I speed up a lot, and I start sprinting. Once I turn a little curve around the mall and I see the finish line, that's when I start sprinting. I start speeding up a little bit, and then when I see that finish line in my sights, I start sprinting towards the finish line to give everything I've got. And so I did finish ahead of him, and the timing clock said 21 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, that's gun time. Now, I wasn't right on the starting line when I started, and so because of that, my chip time was going to be a little faster than that. So I knew I was in the ballpark. I was hoping I was going to break 21 minutes, but wasn't sure because I didn't know that I had a 10-second buffer between my gun time and my chip time. And so I just had to wait until they started posting the results. And so I pulled it up on my phone, and sure enough, I came in at 20 minutes and 59 seconds. So I was 4 seconds off of a PR. And I go back and think about it and wonder, where was I that I could have sped up a little bit? Maybe it was in that 2 mile mark where I was feeling like I was getting in my head, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do this, you might as well just slow down. Maybe at that point, I don't know, maybe I could have started sprinting a little sooner. I don't know, but I don't want to go back and second guess myself. With as little speed work as I did for the 5K, I felt really good about it. And so one of my goals for next year is going to be to set a PR and to possibly break 20 minutes. So I've never broken 20 minutes in the 5K, and I'd really like to do that, especially at my advanced age. I'd love to try to do that. So that was it. It was really a fun day. We came back home and cooked and ate some turkey and just watched football that night, and really had a good day, and I really enjoyed the Oviedo Turkey Trot. It's growing every year. I think this is the 4th year they've had it, and it seems to be growing every year. So excited about doing that again next year. So as far as my training goes, the next really challenge race I have coming up is the Dopey Challenge in January 4th through 8th. And we're going to do the 5K, the 10K, the half, and the full marathon on consecutive days. So we'll start on Thursday, we'll do the 5K, we'll go on Friday, do the 10K, the half will be on Saturday, and then the full marathon will be on Sunday. And so I don't really have a lot of goals for that race other than to finish and to get some video. I'm going to take my phone with me with my little holder so I can get some video for you guys to show you on the race. I would like to finish the marathon under 4 hours, which I feel like I can do even running consecutive days. And so in my training now, I'm starting to run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with increasing length runs, probably a 3 mile on Thursday, 3 or 4 mile on Thursday, 6 to 8 mile on Friday, 10 to 13 miles on Saturday, and then probably 16 to 20 miles every Sunday leading up to the taper, which will start probably the end of December. So I've really got a couple of weeks to really kind of hone that in. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Probably too good about it, but we'll see once it gets here. I've run on consecutive days pretty much all of my training live, so I know how that feels. I know what, but not quite at that level. I've always done a Thursday, skip Friday, Saturday, Sunday long runs, but we'll see how it goes when I'm really kind of in that zone there. But really looking forward to that. I'd like to, like I said, finish. I don't really have goals for the 5 and 10K. I just want to finish, and not really going to try to go out and set PRs for those. The half, I am looking for. I'm going to be running with a friend of mine, and I'm going to be pacing him, and we're going to be trying to break 2 hours. And I need to check up with, that reminds me, I need to check up with him on how his training's going. But that'll be, he wants to break 2 hours, so we're going to try to do that. I'm trying to pace him to break 2 hours. And then Sunday for the marathon, I want to be under 4 hours as best I can, which I know I can do if I wasn't filming along with it, and if I had not run a half marathon and a 10K and a 5K 3 days before that. But we're gonna give it a shot and see if we can come in under 4 hours. That's the goal. And I'm gonna take some pictures with all my medals every day, and then the last day, the Monday after the marathon, we're going to go back to the parks and take pictures in all the parks with all 6 medals I'll have, all the bling that's going to be going on there. So that's kind of where we're at as far as the training goes. And then right after Dopey, I'll take maybe a week off, maybe 4 days to a week off, and then really start in earnest on my Boston Marathon training. Really looking forward to that. We're going to road trip up there and road trip back, and just kind of enjoy the adventure of getting up there, running that race, and then coming back. And still can't believe that we're going, but nope, here we are. We're going to Boston. So next month's video will be an update on how I did in the Dopey challenge. So go ahead, if you haven't hit that like button, do that. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. And then hit the notifications bell and choose all notifications so you get notified when I upload a new video for the Dopey challenge in January. And you'll be notified of that, and you can see what my progress was and how I hit on those goals and the things that I wanted to do. So thank you for joining me today. It's been a joy having you along on this journey with me. I hope you continue to do that. Continue to push me, ask me questions, and continue to share with me about your exercise goals. I love hearing those and trying to give you encouragement too as you try to meet those goals in your life as well. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for updates when we upload new videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes on the weekend, sometimes in between. Just kind of never know. We're going to drop one in there. But with that said, that's going to do it today for the long run with Joel and Chrissy. I'm Joel, flying solo today. And don't forget it's the long run. Give yourself a little grace.